Okay, hello everyone. I Is it okay? Yeah, we're
Yeah.
recording. So let me introduce. Today we are hosting Associate Professor Dr. Elif Gözler Çamur. She has a very unique background, I believe, very interdisciplinary. She is coming from political science. I think, yeah, she studied political science in the UK in masters and PhD, and also she has a bachelor in archaeology as well. This is a very unique combination, and this tells us that she has a very she can think across boundaries, and she keeps exploring all the time. Currently, she's a faculty member at İzmir Democracy University. Also, beyond academia, she is also a founder member uh, and active member of Galimi Çınarlı Derneği in Marmara Island. She is working on local sustainability and community-based initiatives. I think, yeah. And also she's a spokesperson for the slow food community Marmara Island. Let's begin. If I missed anything, please, feel free to add, Elif.
Thank you, Duygu. That's all. That's all I'm about. Thank you for everyone for participating and for organizing this event to your organization. Today, I'm going to talk about garum and our very own garos. These are related sauces. But first, I would like to introduce slow food movement very briefly as an intro, because I'm as you said, I'm the spokesperson of this organization for my community. I'm sure you're all aware of the concept of waste-free kitchen, so I'm not going to talk about this all over again. We all know the concept of zero waste kitchen. It invites us to rethink the entire system. It challenges us to see the food not just as something disposable, but as something valuable at every stage, from production to consumption. So, in a zero waste approach, what we usually consider as a waste, it becomes a resource. As you all experiment in this project, pills can become stocks, or stale bread can become new dishes. And fish bones, in the case of Garos, and organs that you normally throw away, can turn into something entirely different, something meaningful. But here, there's an important part we should always remember. Zero waste is not a new idea. In fact, for most of human history, people had no choice but to use every part of their food. It was valuable. What we call now sustainability was once just simply a must, a common sense. Because they did not have refrigerators or freezers, and the food was not abundant all the time. Traditional food cultures across the world are full of practices, our own kitchen culture as well, that minimize waste and maximize value. These practices are not only efficient, but they are also deeply connected to culture, to memory, to identity. It's not just about the sustainability, or this is very much connected to culture. So this is exactly where the slow food movement becomes important, because it reminds us that food is not just about eating. It's about knowledge, responsibility, relationship. And within this framework, I will mention about this as well. The Arc of Taste project helps us to rediscover products that carry this knowledge, products that are at risk of disappearing. The slow food, have you ever heard about this before, slow food movement? Anyone? Especially people in Italy probably heard about this.
No?
All right, I assume that the people, especially in Italy, because I will talk about this as well, every 2 years they organize something called Terra Madre. This is a huge event. I will pretty encourage you to join that. The slow food movement was born in Italy as a response to fast consumption culture and industrial food. And its story begins with a symbolic moment in 1986. They opened a McDonald's in the center of Rome, and it prompted journalist and food writer Carlo Petrini. He still lives today and actively participates in the organization's events to take an action. Petrini and his friends wrote a manifesto and chose the snail as their symbol that we still use today. The snail was representing slowness, care, locality. And from this humble beginning, the movement has grown into something global network with hundreds of thousands of members and local communities in many countries. But the story of the slow food goes far beyond the defense of the taste. Slow food sees food not only as a matter of pleasure, taste, but also as a matter of responsibility. What kind of responsibilities? What do you eat? Who produce it? How is it produced? And what impact does it have on the planet? At the heart of this network, there is Terra Madre, that is an event held every 2 years in Turin, Italy. It means Mother Earth. What's happened there, it's not like just a simple food fair, but here farmers, fishers, small-scale producers, and chefs from all over the world come together here. But this is something more than a typical food fair. It's a platform for global solidarity. How? Because a fisher from an Asian can sit at the same table with a potato farmer from the Ant. They share common knowledge, challenges, hopes, and great deal to learn from each other. For small scale producer, it's a both space for exchange and chance to make their voice heard. There will be a Terra Madre event this year in September probably. In 2024, we participate there as a representative of our community, and it was a great event. If you're living close to Turin, you should really participate there. You can taste all kinds of foods. It's not very expensive, and the environment is really good. There's really something going on there. One of the most tangible projects of the Slow Food is the Arc of Taste project. This is like a catalog of traditional food products that are at risk of disappearing due to the industrial production. It's like a Noah's Ark, actually, but for the food. Climate change, migration, and because of neglect, some products are at risk of disappearing, so they organize this project. It is like a memory archive, we can say. From seeds to cheese, wine, fish sauces, apples, cabbages, thousands of products are listed. You can check their website. There are thousands of products, and there's info about there as well for each product. But being listed in the Arc of Taste is not the ultimate goal, of course. The real aim is to create awareness, a sense of ownership, and ultimately protection around these products as well. Because losing a product is not does not only mean losing a flavor, just it also means losing knowledge or collective memory. Being on this list for us is important step towards preserving that memory. Just like we nominated Marmara Island sage Adası grape and wine, and of course Garos. Today, I would like to introduce one of those products, Garos. This is a product that perfectly represents the idea of zero waste. This is a product that transforms what might be discarded into something rich, complex, and valuable. And it also carries thousands of years of history and culture. So this is Garos. I would like to, sorry, I would like to ask, have you ever heard about Garos or Garum or any kind of fish sauce before?
No.
No.
Not really.
I heard a lot before.
What kind of things you heard about it?
I read something about the garum. It's coming from ancient Greek and Rome.
Mhm.
I guess so.
Any of you used Asian fish sauces before?
It's like oyster sauce.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes.
Yes, this is pretty much like that. It has a fishy smell, a very pungent smell. But have you ever, I mean, I'd like to ask once again, have you ever eat something like a processed fish from like the raw or liver? Even if you fry them, doesn't matter. Have you ever eat the innards of the fish before?
No.
No.
Maybe you heard about botarga? No?
No.
Italian?
Yeah, I was thinking about botarga. Sì.
Yeah.
Sì, sì, sì, sì.
Yeah, this is also, a processed fish liver. Very valuable, very tasty. Maybe you heard about the colatura di alici, Italians. This one.
Yeah, too.
Yeah, I bought it from Terra Madre last year. We will talk about that as well. All right. This is the perfect example of the waste-free kitchen because this is exactly made from the parts that will normally be thrown away, and they use it for a delicacy. On Marmara Island, we have a sauce fermenting inside a jar. This is an amber-colored aromatic and carrying thousands of years of memory. And this is Garos. Locally, people also called it as Garos, the Z at the end. This fermented fish sauce is in fact a living continuation of one of the most famous culinary secrets of the ancient world. Its story actually goes back a long way. In ancient Greek cuisine, gyros was made by fermenting small fish with salt. Those fishes were so small to eat, then they like to use it for something else. Because they were so small, they cannot fry it. Because they were like foam and they were so many. So they decided to use them as a sauce and they called it Garos in Greek. Maybe related to word Gavros, meaning anchovy. But it's not still clear. Garos became so popular then, it later spread to Rome, where it sparked something like a culinary revolution. It is known there as garum or liquamen. Both terms were used interchangeably, so don't get confused. It quickly became a commercial product like an olive oil or wine, and they were produced in large facilities called cetarie around the Mediterranean. In Rome, garum was not a single product. The most luxurious versions called garum sociorum, meaning garum worthy of friends. That was the most expensive version. It was made from the innards of and the blood of the mackerel through the long fermentation. The most valuable one is made from mackerel. And at the same time, there was alek, the leftover paste after straining the garum, because after the long fermentation process, they strain the whole liquid, and there is something solid at the end, and this is called as alek. But they use it as well. They don't throw it away. How they use it? It flavored the meals of the poorer people, unfortunately. So the same product appeared on both elite and humble tables of the poor people of Roman Empire, because they were eating something like pulse. It's like an oatmeal like food, not very tasty. So they were using alec full of taste, and actually bones in the alec were helping for their calcium levels. So both they all used. Today, the term garum is often but incorrectly used as a general name for products of varying compositions and consistencies from ancient Roman cuisine. These products, in the form of brines, sauces, and pastes, were obtained by preserving whole fish or parts of their internal organs or blood in brine with enzymes. They turn into something liquid in an autolysis process. However, in Antiquity, different terms were used for different types of these products. Garum, garum nigrum, black garum, garum sociorum, I mean the most luxurious one. Hymation, it is made from blood, and muria, brine, and liquamen, liquefied version, and alec were used to define garum. The terminology regarding the correct use of this term is quite complex. Granger, she's one of the greatest garum researcher, who she published extensively on this terminology, argues that the garum should not be used to encompass all fish sauces, and it should only be used for high quality sauces derived from blood and or internal organs. So, what do you think it was so popular? Why it was like a culinary craze in the ancient gastronomy world? Why garum was so important then?
Because it's difficult to prepare it.
Yeah, it is difficult. That's why it was so expensive. But it was also very delicious that people use it to season their food.
I think you have one answer more, Elif, Dr. Iman.
Yes, please. I cannot see all the time.
I think I have another answer. Maybe that we can preserve it for a long time because there's no refrigeration, no other tool to preserve this kind.
Yes, garum can be stored for a long time because it was very salty. But the reason for its popularity is because of the glutamic acid. Have you ever heard about it? Maybe,
Yes.
yeah, maybe you heard MSG. Monosodyum glutamat, yani Çin tuzu olarak bilinen maddeden bahsediyorum arkadaşlar. The glutamic acid has an umami flavor. Today, science provides the answer actually. Garum contains glutamatic acid, also found in today mushrooms, tomatoes, and cheese. And this is what gives in that deep, lingering on your taste buds, umami flavor. The Romans may not have the word for it, but they certainly experience it. Please remember tomato, which we use today as our main umami source, were not around those times until 16th century, just for a long time. So, how do we know about garum? Appears not only in the kitchens, but also in archaeology and ancient literature, medicine, and trade documents. For example, in the Edict of Diocletian, a famous list of prices, the Latin word liquamen, not garum this time, appears alongside with the Greek word garos. This is an evidence that two cultures share the same taste. And amphora labels called tituli picti mention as garum flows, meaning of the flower of garum, which means the top of the garum, the most luxurious one, referring to the highest quality. Pliny the Elder writes about its Greek origins and how it was made from fish parts that would otherwise be discarded. In Apicius' famous cookbook, liquamen is used in place of salt nearly in every recipe. You cannot find the word salt, but liquamen as a source of salt. In the 10th century, Byzantine agricultural text Geoponika records various recipes about how to make garos. This time it says garos because this is Byzantine. From practical boiled version to the highest quality garos made with all blood and entrails. Actually, you can have a practical garos by just boiling it, mixing with herbs and vinegar and olive oil. It's like a practical version. You can find it in Geoponika, a book from the Middle Ages. The famous physician Galenos from Pergamon, that's also my city, prescribed garos as an antiseptic, especially for alligator and dog bites. It also appears in the writings of Seneca and famous satire poet Martial. Seneca criticizes garum as a symbol of Roman excess. It called it as a poisonous fish, or the expensive bloody mess of decaying fish. And he argued that garum burns up the stomach with its putrefaction. How do you consume it? And ask. And these foods are already rotten and continue to rot in the stomach once consumed. So we can understand Seneca was not a fan of garum. And the satire poet Martial jokes about garum that one should not kiss their lover after eating it because it smells. Garum became so widespread that the Mediterranean coastline was filled with production facilities, especially around Spain and Italy. We can actually say around the Mediterranean. Chetaries, as I told you. You can now see a big production site in Cadiz, and under that there's an illustration. Archaeologically, the only known example in our region, in Anatolia, is the ancient city of Teymusa in Kekova. But we know from the ancient literature that there were many production sites, but now we just discovered this place until now. Okay, with the spread of Christianity in Rome, the use of animal blood in food became religiously problematic. Not in just Christianity, but also in Islam as well. And garum was even banned for a time. In medieval Europe, it largely disappeared, but still we can find in the literature some recipes. However, in Byzantium, it continued because it is where it was born, Garos. And you can also find in the recipes in the Geoponika. There is also physical trace of this tradition, Gararia, you can see on the right side. These are containers specially designed to serve warm garos. You can see there's a tea light space under the ceramic. They put a candle there, so they serve a hot garum. I'm not sure it can be very delicious. I never tasted hot garum before. This is called gararia. In this sense, we can say Garos returned to the geography where it was born before. In the 16th century, the French traveler Pierre Bellon noted that Garos still popular in Istanbul, and writing that there was no fishmonger in Pera who did not sell it. So we can understand all the fishermen, fishmongers sell it. They both fry it and make garos from it. So they did not throw away any part of the fish. After Bellon's time, traces of garos in Istanbul faded, and the product became closely associated with Marmara Island, where we saw it in Karakin Devecian classical work, Fish and Fisheries in Turkey. This is the book, a great book. I really want you to look at it if you can find it. It says Garos from the Marmara Island is compares to the finest caviar, so he is a fan. The same book also notes that salted fish sellers in Istanbul used Garos from Marmara Island to improve the quality of their products, because sometimes the salted fish can be a little bit stale and not smell very good. So they use the nice smell of Garos for their customers. There's another book about Garos, mentioning Garos, in Sulabozis' book on Greek culinary culture. Garos appears under the name of Yaros because in now modern Greek they can say Yaros. Also called Marmara Island paste, Marmara Adası salçası diye de geçiyor. It is mentioned that Greek islanders who migrated to Greece continued this tradition. I found the chance to meet the lady in Athens last year. We talked about Garos, and people still producing it in Greece today. The descendants of the Marmara Islanders. So, any question until now?
We will have a lot of questions end of the session, I think.
Okay, end of, all right. So now we can say the most popular product of the ancient world will survive in Marmara Island culture. Of course, people still experimenting about garum, but these are not cultural actually. Chefs and many people on Instagram or on YouTube, you can find that making garum, but they're just experimenting. It's not something cultural, but it still lives in Marmara Island. I think that's very valuable. So, how is Garos made in Marmara Island today? We should start with a kind of mackerel first. We call it today as kolyos. This is a type of mackerel, kind of scomber, and in Latin it calls as scomber kolyas. It is already famous, and everyone agrees that the best garos is made from it. The raw and liver of the kolyas first carefully cleaned, as you see. That's a little bit nasty picture, but you can get the raw and the liver, black liver. You clean it with water and mix it with salt, and you place it in a clean jar like that. The salt, amount of the salt is very important. If you put a little salt, it can go bad, it can spoil. So you should be generous with the salt. But if you put too much salt, then it will be too much salty. So you should find a balance with that. The jar should be kept in a light exposed place and shaken daily. As you see on the picture on the right, it started to dissolve already. This is like a 2 days picture. So it starts to liquefy. You should shake daily. Until the contents dissolve and release that rich aroma, you know that the garos is ready. Once it is reaches, it is amber color. Garos is served in a bowl with olive oil, vinegar, or lemon juice. In its purest form, it is simply eaten with bread, as you can see. You dip the bread and eat it. You can enjoy it with a bottle of wine or rakı. That's people usually eat it on the island. And now you can see the finished form here. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? This is the finished
Yes.
form, the same jar. You see it's liquefied. A little bit, not like water, but it's completely dissolved, the raw and the liver. Of course, every family has its own touch when it comes to Garos. Some mix it with fig stems. They say the milk of the fig help for fermentation, while others insist it cannot be eaten without the local herb called garosoto. It's like a dill, something like a dill, and grown on the island as well. For those who want to trace its journey, you can stop by Neos Marmaras and Sarti in Greece. We visited there last year. These towns, founded by islanders who migrated from Marmara Island, they still produce Garos in the same way. Same fish, same salt, same passions. I went there last year, and when I asked about the Garos recipe, they gave the same thing. That was quite emotional for me, because when the Greeks left the island after the population exchange between Greece and Turkey, their Muslim Turkish neighbors kept the Garos recipe alive, even if they don't see each other like more than hundreds of years. The recipe kept them together. Yes, migration changed the geography, population, but not the recipe. The Turkish community on the island continued the tradition in the sense Garos, we can say Garos is not belong to one community, but belong to the culture of the Marmara Islands, a shared memory. There are many sauces related to garum and garos. I would like to show those. Maybe this is the one I use it really much. The fish sauce of Asian fish sauce. You can find in Turkey this squid brand in Macro Center. This is garum. I bought it from Terra Madre last year. There was a really old fisherman, French fisherman. He's making this garum from river fishes from Loire Valley. And this is colatura di alici. This is made from anchovy. They put the anchovies in a barrel and mix it with salt. And after for a long period of time, they open a little hole under the barrel, and it drips, drips, drips. And this sauce, they create this sauce, very expensive and valuable. And last, I'd like to show the Worcestershire sauce. Maybe most of you heard it. This is an English sauce, but the original recipe uses fish as well. So we can say this is a descendant of garum as well. Garos is now listed in Slow Food Arc of Taste, thanks to the efforts of Marmara Island Slow Food community. And we also, as a Galim Association, try to record the recipe. You can see the lady, I learned how to make garos from her. We recorded her and kept as an archive of garos. But there is a risk for garos due to population and overfishing. Mackerel and Coleus populations are declining every year, actually. It's really hard to find Coleus and make garum out of it, let alone consuming it. So as a association, Galim Association, we also organized meetings that focused on Garos. You can see this is the introduction, the relaunch of our community, and this is an organization about Garos. We talk about this with the people who knows the culture. For many years, Garos was made and consumed at home only. But today, thanks to our work, I'm very proud of it. It's becoming more visible in the local businesses in the island as well. Two restaurants started to serve Garos because after our events, people who participate wonders about it, like to taste it. So they come to island and taste it in those restaurants. Yeah, it's a small, but I think a meaningful step. Hopefully, Kolyas will become more abundant. More people will make and enjoy Garos, and this ancient sauce will find its rightful place on a must-do list of the visitors of the Marmara Island. Because it's not just an appetizer, it's a memory. This is amber colored, salty, full of flavor, smells nice. And I'm sure you will all like when you try it. Because when I talk about this, I mention blood, raw entrails, like all the nasty things. So people like showing really disgusted faces. But after they taste it, they really like it. It really smells nice. But I like to admit, not Garos, but the making of Garum is a very smelly, bad smelling thing. That's why they founded the cetarias, the ateliers outside of the town in the ancient Rome. Because it's a rotten fish at the end of the day, but the result is something really great. So please don't be afraid. If you find the chance, please taste Garum, Garos. Doesn't matter. It's really delicious. All right, that's all, folks. This is the end of my presentation here. If you like to ask anything, please feel free to ask. I'm a Garos and Garum volunteer. Anything, please.
Thank you so much.
Wow, it was incredible. It was like a story at the same time. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I have a question, but I can wait for the participant first. If there is no one,
I have a question.
please,
Or-
Ada. Thank you. Ada is a very successful young chef who is
Thank
coming
you.
from Başkent University, right, Ada? Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask a question about the one of the ancient songs is called Sikkum. It's coming from the Sumerians. I remember like that. Maybe you know it already. It's related with between the garum, or is another sauce from ancient world.
Yes. I forgot to mention. Thank you, Ada. Maybe you saw on the slides there is a great book about Garum by Sally Granger. Please look at this book. You can find the PDF. Really, you can find everything about Garum there, and you can also find Sikkum there. Yes, for many people believes that Garos originated from there because everything originated from Mesopotamia. So why not Garum? This is a kind of salted fish sauce, but people are not really sure how was it like. There is not much literature about that. It's not like Garum, as you know, but I can assure that they are all related.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, I have a question.
Please.
I was wondering if it's safe to try to make it on your own at home, because it's can cause maybe other disease. I'm not sure is it right or not on English. Salmonellose. Is it
Yes, also
right or not?
botulism.
Or botulism? Yeah. Yeah, I'm Ukrainian. In Ukraine, we are salting fish and fish organs. We are eating like that, but such a sauce to wait till it's rotten, I never tried.
Yes, there is always a
So I'm
risk
wondering
of
if it's safe to
there
try
is
it at home or it's better.
there's always a risk of botulism. That's why you should be generous about using salt. If you use enough salt, then it will protect it for many times. And I forgot to say that after you prepare your Garos, like after 20 days, if it is ready, it will smell very nice. It should smell nice, not rotten, but nice umami smell. Then you should put olive oil at top and refrigerate it. If you refrigerate it enough, like I had a Garos like 4 years old in my refrigerator. I tried and I didn't die. Of course, that's very risky, but please use enough salt, not very little, not too much, but it should be salty. That's why we diluted it with vinegar or lemon juice and the olive oil to avoid the very salty taste. But I think I heard that you are also making similar in Ukraine. Can you talk it a little bit about it, please?
We are not doing like sauce from it, but we are salting caviar. Let's say we are doing so much in Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess my grandmother was doing also liver of fish. She was salting and they was eating. Yeah. But I guess that recipe is really lost in our time. So we are doing mostly caviar and salty fish, especially red fish, salty fish.
But you are eating the caviar right after salting, right? You are not waiting for dissolving it.
Yeah, you shouldn't wait outside. We are salting and putting to fridge, so it doesn't smell. It's not rotten.
It's
So
like the
salted.
it's like
Preserved.
the common caviar, right?
Yeah, but not cooked. Anyway, in Turkey, let's say it's for most of people caviar that while it's not cooked, it's a bit wild and weird. My husband tried once at Ukraine and never again, and he never heard here in Turkey.
Anna, you know, Turkish people love to cook their fish.
Yeah.
Eat it raw.
Elif, you have another question from Dr. Iman.
Yes, please.
It's
on the right.
The chat, but when asked, because it's corresponding with the. First of all, thank you for this amazing lecture. I want to ask how long period that we can consume with its well, and then after we open, then we put in the refrigerator. Yes, even if installed. The second question: what's the sign that I can't consume this groma?
If the color is changing, if the smell is not nice, you shouldn't consume it. It's best you consume it like in a year if it is kept refrigerated. But please be aware of the smell and the color changes. And as I said, if you put enough salt, then it should be okay. But as I told you, the jar should be really clean. The people in Greece told us they put the jar in the oven in the highest temperature, so it sterilizes it a little bit. You can boil the jar as well, but it should be really clean and hygienic to avoid botulism and other problems.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I would like to ask you something.
Please, Nisu.
As you know, in Turkey too, there's some sushis on supermarkets. What you should keep in mind when you are consuming them.
Sushi.
Yeah.
Supermarket sushi, maybe if you look at the ingredients, you will see there are many preservatives. So, I mean, it's a raw fish, but there are preservatives to keep it for a long time. I think you shouldn't eat those supermarket ones. Please eat a proper one. But if, again, if it smells bad, please don't eat it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And look at the best before period as well, of course.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have another question.
Yes, please.
So, the good thing is Garos is a wonderful example and element for our project because we are collecting these kind of special recipes from different parts of the world. And could you give any suggestions to our participations how they can find recipes like Garos, or how they can create a story about it, how they can, you know, which kind of sources they can look for find these kind of things?
Yes, thanks for the question, Cesar. Actually, there is no existing literature about Marmara Island Garos. As I said, you can find in Sulabosi's book about it. I wrote something, a couple of pieces. Even in Sally Granger's book, it's not written. It's not in relation with Marmara Island. She just said the earliest version of Garum is Garos, and this is a Greek thing. Doesn't mention about the modern day Garos as we consume it today. But I can say we just not eat it with bread alongside with wine or rakı. There are cultural applications of it as well. For example, in our childhood, when we get tired of playing outside, our moms gives us bread with the tomato puree, salçalı ekmek, right? So in the childhood of the Marmara Island children, they say, the old ones, of course, when we get tired of playing, our moms gave us bread with Garos. So they praise it, they mention it as a cultural thing, a nostalgic thing. They also use it with their piyaz as a piyaz sauce. I mean, it's because it's seasoning the stale taste of the beans. As a culinary, what can I say? I'm using for all kinds of things, for salads, for rice dishes. I'm experimenting with it. I'm also trying with just with raw or just with liver, with white fishes. You can all the time experiment with the fish and the raw fish, but please be careful of the salt and you know, it's dangerous.
Thank you very much. If you don't have any questions more, Mr. Adil Çamur at their social media accounts, please just follow it. If you will have any question, I think they can just reach out to you, right, Elif? Or
Yes, of course.
to Adil. Thank you very much. Duygu, do you have anything to say?
No. Thank you, Elif,
Okay.
for your presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone, and special thanks to Elif Gözler Çamur.
Thank you for
It was
listening, everyone.
wonderful lecture. And all the participants, we are going to send you an email this weekend. Thank you very much to be here tonight. So see you next session. I believe it's gonna be by Dr. Iman. We will send you all the details about it. And see you next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.